Welcome to SimpleChew. I'm your host, Hank. In today's video, I'm going to go over how to fill out the W-4. I'm going to do a quick tutorial on how to fill it up if you are single or married, finally separate, or if you are married and you are doing it jointly, or are you a qualifying widow, and also head of household. A lot of the scenarios that I'm going to go into applies to a lot of people, but there are going to be a few scenarios that are only going to apply to a few people. And I'm not going to go over those scenarios. If you do qualify or you are into that category of special cases, you can email me or send me a message down below, and I can address it 101, or you can email me and if enough people actually touch the same problem, I can actually do a separate video for you guys, and I can share it for everybody. But today I'm just gonna go over how the simple way of just filling out the W-4, and depending if you have two jobs or only you have one job or your spouse earns more money, I'm just gonna go over those things too. So if that's something that you're struggling with, this video is for you. So this is how the W-4 looks like. And the first thing we're going to do is step one. We're going to enter our personal information. It's pretty simple and straightforward. We're going to start with our first name, and if you have a middle initial, you can do that there. Then our last name, and then our social security. You're going to put your social security, whatever it is. And then we're going to enter our address. It's pretty simple. And then where you're from. I'm from Boston. Your city and state and your zip code. And then C is your filing status. We're gonna start with single or married, filing separate. And if you only have one job, your job filling out the W-4 is pretty much done. All you do is you skip all step 2, 3, and 4, and you go to step 5. You print it, sign it, date it, give it to your HR. Depending on how your HR wants it, you can sign it through PDF and then date it, and you can send it to your HR personnel, and they can take care of it from there. And then they have to fill out the rest that they have to do. If you're doing married, filing separate, same thing. Just step 1 and step 5, and you're all set. Only if you have one job. Another scenario will be if you are single or married, filing separate, and you have two jobs, then you have to go to step 2, multiple jobs or spouse works, and from here, if the two jobs are equally in pay or estimated to be the same amount weekly, then you can go to step 2C and click this little box to the side, and then you move to step 5, sign it and date it and send it to your HR, and you're done. But let's say if you are single and married, filing separate, and you have two jobs and one pays more than the other, there's two options that you can do. You can either go with option A, where you can go to www.irs.gov W-4 app. It's an estimator, it's a calculator. It's going to ask you a bunch of questions, and it's going to ask you more in detail personal questions about how much you earn, how many times you get paid a week or monthly, and it goes into that details. I'm not gonna go over the estimator. If it's something that you guys really need from me, I can do a tutorial on it. It's pretty straightforward, but it could be time consuming, and a lot of people don't have the time or don't have the patience to do it. But I can go over it with you guys if you guys ask me. The next step, if you don't want to do the estimator, is to use the worksheet, the multiple worksheet on page 3, and that looks like this. So it looks more difficult than it is. So we are going to be looking for single or married, filing separate. If this is not it, we're going to go to the next table, and it's this one. And from here, we're going to go for your higher paying job, annual tax, wage, and salary. So let's say your highest paying wages is 100,000 from here. And then here it says your lower paying job annually, and your lowest paying wages is 30,000. We say 100,000. We're gonna go. This is your number. This is gonna be your withholding from your paycheck. So we're gonna remember that number, and we're gonna put it on the step 2B multiple job worksheet on page 3. So we're gonna put it there. So let's remember it. Let's try and copy it. Let's see if that works. Try to put it here. All right, perfect. And then it says that you need to skip all the way to line 3. And then it says to enter the periods per year that you get paid from the highest job. So your highest paying job, do you get paid weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, whatever it is? It says that if you get paid weekly to enter 52, or if you get paid every other week is 26, or monthly is 12. So let's say you get paid monthly, you type a 12 in there, and then you divide the annual amount of the line 1 or the line 2C by the number of pay periods. So we're gonna divide the 6,380 divided by 12. Let's get a calculator for that to make it easier for us. Divided by 12, and it's roughly 531. We round up. Now this number, we're gonna take it from the worksheet, copy it, and we're gonna paste it on step 4C, where it says extra withholdings. We're gonna paste it there, and you're done. And now all you do is step 5. You sign, you date, and send it to HR. Pretty much it. If you marry, filing jointly, and your spouse and yourself earn the same amount of money, is close. Let's say you both earn 100,000 a year. All you do is you check the step 2C. You check that little box, sign it, date it, you're all set. Send it to HR. But let's say your spouse earns more or you earn more, you can either go to the estimator on the irs.gov website and use their estimator. You go through all the questions, or you can also use the multiple job worksheet, and that is down here. It's this first table, and it works the same as a single. And so we're gonna go over with the lowest job and then the highest paying job, and then you fill out this part again. Put the higher job, pay like how much you get paid, how many times you get paid in a year. You put it, divide it, and then you copy the number, and you put it on step 4, extra withholdings. Step 4C, you paste it there, and then you signed it. You go to step 5, sign it, date it, send it to HR. That's pretty much it from there. That also applies to a qualifying widow. And then if you are head of household, you can also, going back to the marry or head of household, this kind of applies to both of them. But the head of household is the same thing. If you're single, if you had a head of household and you only have one job, you have to do the step 3, claim dependents, because to qualify as a head of household, I have a whole video about this. You have to have a qualifying dependent. There's either under 17 of age, according to this document, but it can vary. You should watch that video that I made. If you're married and you also have kids and they're under 17, you will also have to do step 3, claim independence. This is just for the credit child tax return. It's just to help you. It helps IRS know how much how much credit it's gonna give you, and it's just to accurately take the withholdings from you. This is the same thing from the old W4 where you put a 0, 1, 2, or 3. It depends on how many dependents you're gonna claim. And so going back to head of household, you check head of household. If you don't have any job, you only have one job, you don't have to worry about step 2. You go to step 3. You multiply the number of qualifying children under 17 by 2,000. That's only you only have one kid. You only put 2,000 there, and then add the amounts in the total, and you put 2,000 there. And then you go to step 5, sign it, date it, send it to HR. You all set. If you're a head of household, you still need to do step 3. And then if you have 2 jobs, you have to step 2. In that case, again, you can do that. You can use the estimator. If the jobs one pays more than another, if they both pays the same or they're close by, you can go to step 2C and check the box. Then move to step 3, do the how many qualifying children you have, or how many other dependents, like your parents, if they live with you, and you are supporting more than half of their expenses. You can take 500 for depending on how many parents you might be taking care of your parents and also your in-laws. This is the part that you multiply the 500 for them, and then you go and move to step 5, sign it and send it to HR. There's also a step 4 that I'm not gonna go too much in detail, whereas other incomes. That's if you receive any interest from CDs that you have in the bank, any dividends from your stock portfolio, or retirement income. If you're retired and you have like a part-time job, you can put it there. You can just put how much. It just is to accurately take your withholdings federally. And then if you have other deductions, this if you have if you itemizing your deductions, it's good to do the work and put the work for to accurately withhold your withholdings. And that's a situation I'm not gonna go over with. But if you do have that, you fit in that category, that's something that I can go over with you. If you email me, if enough people email me or message me, I'll definitely go over with you guys. But that's basically it. It's not that difficult. I think before it was easier because you just put a number in and you sign it and that's it. But this one actually is better. It accurately takes the right withholding. So depending on the situation where you want to be, if you want to pay more taxes, you want to pay less taxes, this actually makes it more accurate for you to understand how much you're going to be paying, how much you're going to be receiving at the end of the tax year. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.